Good day, everyone, and compliments of the season. This is Ayo, and you are welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, then you are in the right place. Try to subscribe, like the videos, and you get notifications when I release new videos. So this is the part 2 of the last video that we did, and we've started some demo sessions on serverless architecture, and we looked at how we can break down our programs into functions, and we looked at the fundamentals of that. We had about 2 examples which were based on get method. In this video, we are going to be looking at post method, a very simple example. I'll be sharing my screen right away and we'll see what I'm talking about. I'll try to be as fast as possible because I want this video to be just 10 minutes. Okay, so yeah, so I'm on my Azure portal now. I believe you can see my screen. So all you need to do first is to search for function and locate the function app over here. We already did all this in the previous video, so I wouldn't need to go through everything. I wouldn't need to explain everything. I'll just move very quickly. So I'm still going to be using the resource group I used in the last video. Then I give my function app a name. I can give it anything that must be unique. Then code, runtime stack, I'm going with .NET, long-term support, the region, I'm fine with this US. Then I'm going with serverless. When people see serverless, and we spoke about serverless, we're also talking about function as a service. It's always important to understand how they differ from each other. Yeah, so let me just try to put it. So serverless architecture is a broad term that talks about you not being directly responsible for the management of the server that you use to power up your application, while function as a service, a function app, breaking down different components of your program into different functions is more like, I consider it like a subset of serverless architecture, as it were. Because I mean, if we are looking at things like Terraform, things like infrastructure as code, those can still be they still have some level of serverless architecture embedded within them, because in that case you are just like trying to automate the entire process of provisioning your servers and things like that. And we also have Kubernetes and so many technologies that can be considered as subset of serverless architecture. But in this case, we are looking at function as a service, which purely fall within that. So let me create, we've already done all this in the previous video. So when we get to the point where we need to specify that we are working with post methods, I would make more emphasis. So we have this, we already did this, code plus test. Want to write our program. Yeah, so while this is running. So I already have a function written down to save time, but you can always pause the video and see what is written here. It's just something simple. We are going to be submitting an ID. So when we talk about post, it means that we are submitting data. We are kind of like sending data in our request compared to a get request, which is more like we are kind of like trying to get data from the server. Even though for post, we are still going to get a response, obviously. But in the case of get, we are not sending any data along with our requests. So let me just save this. So this is, we are just submitting an ID and we expect the server to tell us what we have submitted. Yeah, so it's been saved. So let me test to see that what we have is truly valid. So in this case, when we are working with get, we added parameters to our request. But in this case, because we want to submit actual data and we are going to be sending them in the form of JSON, we are going to add it to the body. I'll be showing you also how we can do this on Postman. So let me just use 5 for our example. That's our number. And let's just run it to see if the server will recognize the 5 that we are submitting. Yeah, so you can see the ID for the customer is 5. So that means it's our data was successfully submitted to the server. You can see it's a 200 status code, that is a response code that is being returned. So this is just a simple way to get it done. So I will be letting you see Postman right now. I'll let you see Postman, how we can do it on Postman. Let me share. Let me share. Where's my Postman? So let me first copy the function URL. So I already copied it. I already showed you how you can get it in the last video. So I believe we are good. So I'm looking for my Postman. Where is it? Okay, I've seen it. Yeah, so I'm sharing Postman now. So I paste my URL, and I change this to a post request because that's what we are doing. Then I copy what we have in the body. What we have in the body, I change this to raw and paste it over here. Yeah, so let me confirm that the code is appended as a value. Yeah, so this is good. So let's see. So I'll just hit send and hopefully we'll get the same response as what we got when we were using the console. So you can see the ID for the customer is 5. I can change this to 9, and let's send it to see if it's reflected. You can see it's reflected, so it truly works. Our function works accurately. So I believe with this short video, you can see how to make use of post. And in the previous video, we saw how we can use get. And in our next videos, we are going to see a real life scenario on how a real project that makes use of function app. All we've been doing so far are just preliminaries. We haven't really started the real thing. So in our next video, we are going to be seeing a real project and how we can use the function app to get things working.